Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about how does past life regression actually work. I'm sure that you might be having at least some curiosity about how does this actually work, because it seems almost impossible to be able to go in the past just with your mind and be able to experience events that happened in the past and be able to experience all the emotions that one went through and all of that. So if you can hear birds behind me, they are my budgies and they're having the time of their life, so ignore them. So before explaining to you how does past life regression actually work, let me just establish a background of a certain concept that is very important and a little difficult to understand, so that you have that base of knowledge to understand actually how we can not just tap into our past but also the future and also other realms. So in my previous videos I have already explained about how everything is one and how every single atom is connected to every single other atom in the universe, and that is how a connection is established between each and everything that there is, and that also includes the past, present and future. So all that information, including all the experiential information, is stored in a certain way energetically in the universe. It's like a cloud drive where it is stored. Obviously there is no physical location for it. You can actually say that all that knowledge is being stored in actually each and every atom. That's because each and every atom is connected, right? So basically this web of existence that there is, all the knowledge of the universe is in this web of existence, and it is just upon us to be able to tap into that and access it, right? Most of us don't even make a small effort in order to do that because we're not aware, right? So once you begin your spiritual journey, once you're on this journey, you realize this. You actually realize how everything is connected and how you can tap into this intermeshed web of knowledge, which is also called as, by the way, Akashic records, or the Chitta, the unconscious mind, the all-knowing mind. It's basically just the God energy that impermeates everything in the universe. So yes, if you go into your past lives, you are basically going into your Akashic records and watching a video of your past life, or listening to an audio of your past life, or picking up the feelings of your past life. So there are so many ways that you can experience a past life. I explained that in my previous video, you can watch that here. So all that information is basically available to everyone. So the second thing is that the past, present and future, all that is happening at the same time. Now this is a very difficult concept to grab because our human minds, they are conditioned to experience time in a linear form, past, present and future. That's how our brains are formed and brains are trained to experience time. So if we think that all time is happening at once, it is just incomprehensible to us. What does the past, present and future all happening at the same time actually mean? It means that you can actually shift your consciousness in order to enter into those experiences that are not happening actually in the past or in the future, but they're happening at the same time, and we're just shifting our consciousness into, you can say, a parallel universe in order to experience those lives, right? So the third concept that comes up here is that all of us are one. So as I already established in the first point, that everything is one, that also makes all kind of organic life as one, and also the inorganic life. So if you read about how Buddha felt when he gained enlightenment, he could actually see his past lives, he could enter into other people's bodies and have their experiences, he could feel how it feels like being a roadkill, and also how it feels like being a rock on the beach, right? All humans are also connected. That means all their past lives are basically shared. So to make it more clear, you can say that all of us are tiny parts of that big God energy. It's like an ocean over there, and we are just a few drops taken from that ocean and living this life. and when we die, when we go back to the higher planes, we as those drops are returned to that ocean. So you cannot differentiate which drop is which, right? Once you put a drop into the ocean, it dissolves, right? There is no boundary to it. And when we reincarnate, once again a drop is taken from that ocean, and when that happens, the drop is not the same drop as it was, in the previous life, right? It's just mixed with everything. So in every reincarnation we bring unique experiences, unique past lives, unique identities, and that explains when some people have shared past lives or overlapping past lives, right? So I will be making separate videos on all those small topics as well, but here is a small explanation about how to explain shared past lives. So now that we've established this concept of everything being one, and all of us being one, and all of us downloading the experiences from that cloud drive, let's move on to explain how does past life regression work. As I already established that there is a web of knowledge all around us, within us, and we just need to tap into it. So how can you tap into it? You can tap into it via meditation. So if you are not a regular meditator, or if you are not a meditative person by nature, then you will need to sit down or lie down for meditation. Many people say that you don't need to do daily meditation in order to grow spiritually, but I say otherwise. If you are a beginner, if you are stressed all the time, if you have never meditated before, you will need to train your mind in order to tap into those states, in order to release and in order to heal. But once you gain that experience, once you have practice, once you become a meditative person, then you no longer need to sit down every single day. But even then you will need to sit down, every week or every month, or whenever you feel the need to do so. And we need reminders, and we need retraining, and we need to reprogram our subconscious mind, and that takes repetition, and that also takes time, right? So if you are not a meditator, you will need to practice going into those theta states, delta states, and you will need to train your mind in order to stay in those states and stay aware. So you might not stay awake, but you will need to stay aware, because if you are trying to experience past lives on your own, so there are some issues, some problems with doing it by yourself. You will need guidance, and you will need teaching or coaching along with the session. So I highly recommend going to a practitioner. First of all, this is not a joke, this is not some magic. I don't want to say serious, but substantial, important work for your mind, soul and body. A practitioner acts as a meditative guide in order to take you into those states. It is a little bit easier with the practitioner. The delta stage or the theta stage is what opens up our subconscious mind, and in turn the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is also called as chitta, which is the all-knowing, expansive, psychic, healing state, where once you tap into it, you are able to explore so many dimensions of yourself, including past lives. So the practitioner helps you to tap into that state and gives specific instructions in order to instruct your subconscious mind to go into the root cause, whatever is the issue that you're facing right now, or whatever is the issue that you have come to seek past life regression for. Now that issue can also be present in your present life. So what I do is I take the person first of all to their childhood, regardless of what issue they are facing, because inner child healing is also a very big thing that everybody needs to take up in their life. So what I do is I take the client first to their childhood and see if there is anything to be released, anything to be seen, felt or experienced in their childhood. And experiencing their own childhood once again as a small child in that session also helps them to establish the trust and also experience how it actually feels like to go into their past self and experience something. So they might be able to watch themselves, or they might be able to feel or hear. The next step is that I take them into the time immediately after their birth or in utero, and then I take them to the root cause in their past lives. And the subconscious mind is very authoritative, so it's not upon me to direct the session. I can only guide the subconscious mind, guide the person to go somewhere, but subconscious mind has its own mind. So regardless of what I say, it sometimes just goes off to whatever needs to be shown to the person. Sometimes I'm trying to take them into their childhood, but they go to a past life straight away or go to a childhood in their past life, and they are describing all these weird things. Anyway, so that is how you tap into the chitta, the delta theta state, the unconscious mind, and get instructed from outside, either with a practitioner or with a guided meditation. And most of the times we are able to download only that information, or only that information is shown which is highly traumatic or highly emotionally charged. That is because that emotional charge is bringing problems to us in the present life, and it needs to be released. It is like a pressure cooker over there. So when we instruct the subconscious mind to go to the root cause, that is where it goes straight away, in order to watch that scene, experience those feelings once again, and to resolve the conflicts that one might be having with other human beings that we were related to by the way of karma. If you have any questions about past life regression therapy, please mention them in the comments and I'll be sure to cover them in another video. I feel so happy to see all of you so curious, and I feel so happy to answer all of your questions. Please interact with this video by liking, sharing, commenting, and by pressing the bell icon or by subscribing. Thank you for that in advance. It helps the channel grow, and it helps us to spread this information far and wide, so that more and more people have access to healing and bring happiness into their lives, just like you are doing right now. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.